good morning. Tuesday morning, and as you can see, a rather nice morning as well. I'm actually just out recording a little vlog from down here at Ballintoy. It's been a bit of a mixed bag this morning. Nothing too great. Sunrise was a bit of a washout, and then the sun has risen and it's all a little bit harsh, but hey, still nice to be out. Also turned up at like 5:30, expecting no one to be here, and there was 4 guys playing football, as you do. Bit of a strange week this week, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next couple of days, but not least, now thankfully I haven't had any symptoms, I'm not any sort of reaction or anything. Had my first jab yesterday. Not quite sure why I got picked out given my age, but hey, there you go. So far so good. No flu symptoms or anything, which I was worried about because I knew I was coming down here this morning to do some photography and I didn't want my arm to be all messed up. But anyway, well, as usual, I'm enjoying the more intimate scene versus the grand vista, which can sometimes be a little bit messed with your head because you see the conditions earlier on, especially just as that sun was poking up over the clouds, and I was thinking, oh, I should, but then I was just looking below my feet. So right, I'm going to carry on shooting and recording this vlog, and I'm sure we'll catch up in this moments between, either later today or later in the week. Just finished the little vlog, or what I hope to be a vlog. Wasn't a great shit, to be honest, as I think I said earlier. Conditions, I can blame the conditions all I want, but I have to hold my hands up there. I think I just wasn't seeing it this morning for whatever reason. I have to say that confidence in my own photography is at an all-time low, I think. Just not in a great place for the photography side of things, and I know this happens, but it doesn't make it any less difficult when you're going through it, especially when you're in such a beautiful place like Ballintoy and you just can't see the image. Guess you got to take the rough with the smooth. Did, however, see my first skylark this morning, so roll on spring and all that. In fact, it's only another couple of weeks till the clocks go forward. Crazy. I mean, this morning getting up, it was a 5 a.m. alarm clock call that snuck around pretty quickly, so kind of sorry I didn't bring any coffee with me now. I didn't think I would want any, but could murder a cup of coffee now in the van, so just thought I would drop back in again. I think it's one of the reasons why I like to do these little moments between, because I can just kind of talk about where I am with my photography and just general things. So confidence in the old pixel popping is at an all-time low. I'm going to wander back to the van now. Catch up soon. So good afternoon again, Thursday afternoon, and a very misty, murky day along the Causeway coast today. So back down at Ballintoy, brought the van down again. In fact, Nicola's car, I think I mentioned, this blew up the other day, so I'm not sure what we're going to do about that, but actually down seeing whether I can collect, just while the elements are like this, and of course all that mist and murk is sort of really simplifying things, so perfect opportunity to come back out again and see whether I could collect another couple of images for the little handmade book. I'll put a link up here somewhere to the second vlog on that. And as I said in that vlog, and as I think I said before, I obviously want to collect many more images. I think I'm putting 10 images in the book, so I want to collect at least double that, probably more, so I can have a selection to pick from. Now, the frame I had lined up here about 10 minutes ago, just as I was setting up, you could still make out a little bit of an outline to Sheep Island. There is a cormorant, I believe it's a cormorant on the rocks here as well, which is just adding another little visual element to the frame, but unfortunately Sheep Island has now completely sort of rescinded back into the murk, and so you can't see it. I'm not sure it works as well, so I might just hang around here for a few minutes and see whether that lifts. Every so often it lifts a little bit, but yeah, perfect opportunity to come out. And as I say, the little handmade book's going to be black and white, so I'm shooting in a black and white film simulation, and it's also going to be square, so I'm shooting in a 1x1 film simulation as well. But we'll wait and see whether Sheep Island comes out or not. So Sheep Island is not appearing anytime soon, and in fact there seems to be a little bit more drizzle coming through, and so I'm actually pointing out into the drizzle now. Thankfully all the images that I was taking for the little book were facing sort of my back to the wind, and keeping the filter clean, but right now there's plenty of drizzle coming in, and I'm just shooting sort of into the murk, and I know the filter, even if I clean it, the filter's still going to be covered in sort of drizzle, but maybe that'll add a little bit of something to the frame, a little bit of grain or something. But I think what I'm going to do now is down the back to the van, grab some lunch, and then maybe come back out again in a little bit. Well, good morning. Sunday morning again. We've had I think a lot of the country has been, at least up in the northern parts of the UK, have had a very benign grey few days, and that is the theme continuing this morning. But I thought I would come out anyway and see whether I can capture another couple of little images for my planned handmade book. Now there's another reason for coming out this morning. Things are changing a little bit for myself. I'll talk about that in a few moments at the end of the vlog. And so I thought I would use this opportunity to get out today, irrespective of the conditions, and just enjoy the whole process. So I'm going to make my way around to the Fossil Beach. Now it's a very slack and low tide, so whether or not this works or not, but there's a couple of sort of protruding rocks around there that might work. If you remember my little handmade book, I'm trying to go for black and white, square, and almost a long exposure, sort of very simplistic, sort of calming feel to the image. And there are a couple of protruding rocks around there that might lend themselves to such images, but there's a tiny little bit of colour in the clouds, which probably means that there's huge banks of clouds on the horizon, but also with this sort of cloud sort of hanging around, even post sunrise, you might even get a little gap in it. So not holding out much hope, and to be honest, given the fact that I'm going for the handmade book, I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. So let's wander on. So I've actually brought myself a little bit further along from the little fossil beach. I'll head over there in a bit. I love this area of the coast. Not least, you can just see all of the crazy sort of crevices and fissures in the rocks. And around sort of this time of the year and a little bit further into sort of spring, we start to get some lovely early morning light illuminating these rocks. Obviously none of that this morning. So now the other thing that's sort of quite challenging is, although the HDR nature of this video camera is probably over-egging how dramatic those clouds look, they're quite washed out in the frame with the long exposure, so you're not really getting a lot of sort of texture across there. I tried one shot with my little grumpy fish rock that you've probably seen me shooting before, but didn't seem to work. I'll throw that up at the end. So again, just got the 10 stop on, got the polarizer on, XT4 18-135, usual fodder. And this is probably going to give me about a 4-minute exposure. This one pointing sort of slightly down and just taking in the sort of curve of this rock here, and then the sea, no sky in it. Interesting as well, out here on the Skerries, the wind sort of changed direction a little bit, and I heard a couple of seals giving it some, so that was quite nice to hear. Right, that's 3 minutes 30, so let's see what this will be like. But the odd gap in the cloud as well, so I just don't think we're going to get any light. Lovely scene here with a real just flow of textured rocks, and I'm actually shooting this with a colour film simulation on because I really want to sort of see what those textures and those yellow lichen look like. Obviously no light. I'm just going to, because I think it's about a 2-minute exposure. That'll do that. And of course with RAW I can shoot it in black and white or I convert it to black and white if I want to. But just as I kind of came walking down into this sort of little area, it just sort of led me through the scene. So, and again, it's one of those ones that come back to when we have a little bit of light on it. So slightly undercooked, so I'm going to let it run for about 2.5 minutes or so. But I do like the composition. Now I'm undecided. There's two little bits of the little Skerries that are visible in the frame, and I'm not sure whether they're bringing anything to the party. Whether or not I just wanted sort of just the sort of long exposure on the sea out there, but of course if I lower my camera down, it changes the sort of look and feel of the bottom half of the frame. So as always, compromises to be made. There's another nice little potential here as well. There's loads of just lines. In fact, it can get quite complicated very quickly because there's so many sort of supposed leading lines in. So yeah, get some lovely light on this and we're cooking with gas, as they say, or something else, some other fuel. Well, good morning. A little bit of a change for the outro this week. Actually recording this on Monday morning. And as I said at the top of the vlog, things are changing somewhat. I got a job. Non-photography related job. More making ends meet type of thing. So with the ongoing restrictions and the sort of unsureness of what the next sort of 6 months bring, as I said in a Fridays from the Van not too long ago, you know, I need to step up to the plate and realise that, well, maybe it's time to get a job. So it's part-time, hoping that I can still get out in between the times and carry on doing photography. In fact, not hope, I will, because as I've said countless times before, time out with the camera is a requirement for my noggin. Trying to think too long and hard about it. I know the situation is completely unprecedented, and so I just have to say that that's one of the reasons why I'm getting the job. But at the same time, as a train passes by, at the same time, I can't help but feeling sort of a bit of failure in there. But going to get run over as well. That would be the ultimate failure. So there you go. Now, I am extremely appreciative of having this. Times are tough, and times are tough for a lot of people. So it's just getting used to this. For the last 6-7 years, my time has been all focused towards my photography, and my time has been, based upon that. And so now all of a sudden this has come in, but it's okay. I hope to carry on. Not overly sure about the moments between, but hopefully I will still. Obviously, you don't just want me driving into my place of work and driving home again. So we'll see how we go there, but certainly we'll keep up the weekly vlogs on a Sunday, and most likely a moments between as well. But yeah, go back now, grab a coffee, and go to work. Alright guys, once again, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, take care, bye bye.